Welcome to the Devil's Island Podcast, broadcasting from the east end of Long Island. Whether you're in New Jersey or somewhere around the world, as a Devils fan, you may feel like a castaway. Well, Devils fanatics, join us, because you can always feel at home here on Devil's Island. And now, here is your host, Chris Suswal.
Hey, fellow castaways, you're on Devil's Island. And if you didn't get a lot of sleep after that loss to Columbus, then join the club, because I personally kept going over and over in my head, how could the Devils perform like this in such a crucial game? Losing to Columbus 3-0 at home. And it's not just this one game. It's what they've done in this recent stretch. They had gone out on the road, almost swept a 4-game road trip. They had won 5 out of 6. And since then, they've now lost 4 out of their last 5. And it just feels like they gave up in the third period when it was tied 0-0. They let up that first goal. And the offense has just been terrible. Jacob Markstrom, to his credit, had a good game, but it's rough sledding right now. It just seems like playoff hopes are slipping away. And if you watched any of Coach Keefe's post-game presser, he is finally showing some of the frustration that he's probably had for some time now, when the Devils have just not performed with Jack Hughes out with his injury. No one else is driving the play. And the power play is at the very bottom of the league. It's been abysmal. What is the excuse for not even coming close to the bottom of the power play or in the league? Calgary has something like an 11% efficiency, and the Devils in the recent stretch since Jack Hughes came back from injury on January 21st, they're operating at an 8% clip. That's 4 for 46. And if they would have just had a decent power play percentage over this past stretch, they would still be in the playoff discussion. And now it just feels like we all need to wonder, has this team quit? And it also makes you wonder what changes can be made at this point. Are we now just looking at next season, a retool of this roster, figuring out which players are staying and which players are going, and maybe giving some of the kids from Utica call-ups? It's been working out for Lenny Hamanaho, but are we going to see an Ethan Edwards, a Seamus Casey, Brian Hallinan come up? Is this what we're left with a month and a half left of the season? We usually like to look forward to some games, not just winnable games, but meaningful games later in the season, and it's just not going in that direction. And barring any kind of firing of coaching staff or trading of players, it just looks like the Devils are just going to play out the string here. We do have Olympic hockey to look forward to, at least. The Devils have 1 game left before the break, and that's, of course, against the Islanders, who they lost in their last game, 9-0. That debacle where Keefe left Markstrom out for all 9 goals, and the Devils just looked atrocious on national television and got embarrassed. Since then, they had made some baby steps towards having competitive games, beating good teams. They went into Edmonton and won a close one, but it's just too few and far between. And the look on Coach Keefe's face, the way he was expressing himself, was that how can you teach this group of players to just finish and step up and make a play? And that's what it's been coming down to. All these games are 1-goal games going into the third period or tied, and the points are right there. The opportunities are right there for the Devils to take. And like I said, I'm just beside myself right now. With this Olympic break, can the Devils go into the break, make some changes, and come out of the break with some kind of, they would have to go on an historic heater for them to gain the 95 to 97 points that are required. They're sitting right now with 58 points on the season. If they somehow beat the Islanders on Thursday, they'll have 60, and then they'll have 25 games left to get the remainder of those points. And it's just a big shame where this core has some playoff experience under its belt. It has a number of seasons together, and with all the injuries and all the mix-ups with the lineups, we thought that we had gotten some reinforcements with Connor Brown coming in and others, but we're going to have to just look at some bright spots in the season, and hope that some of these younger players can help propel the Devils in future years, because right now they're at a 5% probability of making the playoffs, and a month ago it was about 25%. So with all the other teams winning, we'll keep an eye on the Metro. That's where it seems to be the most possible, getting that third seed, with the wild card now 11 points out of reach and only 25 games left in the season. So let me know your thoughts, and until next time, keep your fire burning. Let's go Devils.